Well, November 28th. November 28th, 2023. Today, Charlie Munger passed away. And if you don't know who Charlie Munger was, he was on the, would you say he's on the board for Berkshire Hathaway? Well, many people referred to him as Warren Buffett's right-hand man. And Warren and him known each other for years, and and Charlie practiced law. And I guess I know a few quotes. Here, I got a few quotes here. This is just a thing I found online about him, but I'll just go over them real quick. It's pretty interesting. But it's 10 quotes from Charlie Munger. And if you can get really good at destroying your own wrong ideas, that is a great gift. Hey, how many of us had that great idea and they bounce it off of someone and maybe the person's supportive and they say, sure. It really maybe wasn't really that good of an idea. So if you can get really good at destroying your own wrong ideas, that is a great gift. That is, because how many people are myopic to their own biases? They can't admit they have a bias. So I like that. Number 9, all you needed to do to figure out what company is better than others, everyone would make a lot of money. But that is not the case. They keep raising the prices to the point when the odds change. Number 8, I think people who multitask pay a huge price. They think they're being extra productive, and they think when you multitask... I'm sorry, let me repeat that. I messed up on that. I'm trying to watch my 2 dogs here. I think people who multitask pay a huge price. They think that they're being extra productive, and I think when you multitask so much you don't have time to think about anything deeply, you're giving the world an advantage you shouldn't do, and practically everybody is drifting into that mistake. That's interesting. Some people say the mind can't only focus on one thing at a time, and maybe they can focus on different things at different points faster, but true. 7, who would want one's children growing up buying things like Bitcoin? I hope to God my family doesn't buy it. It's noxious poison. I remember the rat poison squared comment that came up. I want to say, was that there in the 2020 Berkshire? No, 2020. 2020 was 2021. That's right, 2021. I think somebody mentioned it. But yeah, I tell you what, I was thinking about that, and if I make a lot of money on cryptocurrency, I'll take that money out and I'll put that money into something more traditional like Sector Spider or VU or an S&P 500 or VTSAX. So that's my strategy. But yeah, that was what he said about Bitcoin. So number 5, there's more honor in investment management than investment banking. Never really reflected that, but investment management, I really actually do kind of, when I began to read a lot about these guys like, Charlie Munger, Warren Buffett, John Vogel, Edward Templeton, I found out a lot of them, it's not like the Gordon Gekko, Wall Street. A lot of it's actually a very much a service mindset. It's kind of interesting how it's pretty surprising. Kind of like Edward Templeton was kind of listening to his books. It was more of like an act of service to him. I thought I was very just kind of really surprised when I began to get into this stuff. 4, the first rule is that you can't really know anything if you just remember isolated facts and try to bang them back. If the facts don't hang together on a lattice work of theory, don't have them in a usable form. That's pretty interesting. It's kind of like if it's a weak portion of the equation, nix it. I guess that's what he meant. 3, if one it is one thing to think gold has some marvelous store of value because man has no way of inventing more gold or getting it very easily, so it has the advantage of rarity. Believe me, man is capable of somehow creating more Bitcoin. They tell you there are rules and they can't do it. Don't believe them. Well, for many, many moons, people engaged in the science of alchemy, which came from the Middle East, and the concept of alchemy was the chemical structure of gold was very similar to chemical structure of gold was very similar to lead. I think it was like 2 protons or something, and the concept was there's people in the Middle East that were trying to remove or add those molecules to literally change lead into gold because molecularly they were so similar. And at the time, I don't know how they knew that, but it turned out later when they tested this stuff, they said, hey, lead is very similar to gold in a lot of regards. So I don't know, maybe someday they do figure it out. Interesting. Great, and I don't know about Bitcoin, but it is pretty interesting. 2, a great business at a fair price is superior to a fair business at a great price. A great business at a fair price is superior to a fair business at a great price. So, yeah, okay, interesting. The concept of, I got this business. There's a reason why. Maybe there's a reason why the prices are so low. So I don't know. Interesting. 1, it's remarkable how much long-term advantage people like us have gotten by trying to be consistently not stupid instead of trying to be very intelligent. Let me read it again. And I remember when I was between jobs, and I had I want to say it was 2021. I think it was when they started to actually attend the meetings, because I think 2022 was a virtual meeting or something. And I think Warren and Charlie were in Los Angeles. But 2021, when the people were able to meet again, they had a round of questions. And so Warren was kind of discussing the S&P 500, and all that. And I think it was Becky Quick from CNBC went over, which I love watching her do the interview, which I think nobody could handle a Berkshire Hathaway meeting as far as a media person. I think she's the best pick for it. She goes, so what do you think, Charlie? And because Warren was talking about the S&P 500 and, everything about that. And when Charlie was asked his turn, he says, I have Berkshire Hathaway. It's like, get him, Charlie. Tell him, you get him. And, it's, that's the thing is, as far as, getting out to Omaha and getting to the meeting, these guys aren't getting any younger, I was hoping to meet Charlie this next year, or at least, just because they circulate through sometimes on the back of that cart and everyone, they just, I don't know if they wave or whatever, they stop. I was hoping to meet Charlie. Now he's gone. It's, I don't know. It's, these guys aren't getting any younger. So, next thing you know, and he died at 99 years old. I think he just had a few more months to go. He would have been 100. I was hoping to live I was hoping to get up to a 105. I mean, he lived a good life, though. He lived a good life. It's but yeah, sometimes I'll put Warren and Charlie on and just listen to what they say and kind of take it all in, and it's pretty eye-opening. It's eye-opening to listen to those meetings. I've learned a lot about it, and I remember one time I think he mentioned, I need to find the actual context of it, but he said something about I don't know if he meant investing, maybe. I just caught the end of it, but he said he makes a better citizen. And I kind of think the more, it's going to sound kind of funny, but the more, it's kind of funny because when Charlie said, don't get me wrong, I like gold, okay? But Charlie, I can remember Charlie saying civilized people don't buy gold. It's like, do you really, Phil? But, but you know, I was in crypto. I like precious metals. I was in crypto. And then, you know, finally I learned about the Roth IRA and how all that worked. And I always thought that day trading, a trading account, was like I had to trade in and out. I never realized I could just hold them like over the long term as an investment. So when I began to learn about the Roth IRA, when I began to learn about stocks, it's going to sound funny when I say this, but when I bought my first shares, more so with a blue chip company, because like I say, I started out kind of like under-evolved. I was buying some stocks that really weren't that good. I was, you know, dabbling with some of the you know, marijuana companies, things like that, and that was going. I don't think that was going to go anywhere. When I bought my share of Costco, and then I sold Costco. I bought it a while back again, and I sold it again. I should buy some more again. When I bought my share of Costco, this is gonna sound funny, but I swear to God, it's like I felt like I joined the human race when I bought my first stocks. Like I had an actual stake in this company, you know. And my mom used to we used to go to Costco, and I was joking, sitting on that couch, that sample couch. I said, shareholders get to sit on the couch, Mom. So Rustin, when I was shopping there for Christmas, and I had my 2 whole shares of Costco, and I was like thinking, you know, it's like I felt when I bought those stocks, like I joined the human race. I came from this prepping background, you know, this scarcity background, that everything's, you know, gonna go south to that, you know, like now I'm actually buying businesses in share form and putting them into my portfolio. And I'm like doing this on a weekly basis. And now I'm about to probably stack up some cash just to make sure I got emergency. I kind of did mine backwards. Some people say the emergency should come first. It's not a financial advice, but some people say the fund should come first, then the stock second. I kind of did it backwards. I was already out of debt. I was out of debt since 2020, but I put the money in the stocks, and then the next year, a couple of years, I went into the mutual fund into Vanguard, and then next year I'm going to jump back into individual stocks. So I kind of alternate. I'll alternate between Vanguard index funds and back into stocks, and I just kind of jump between the two strategies every year, as far as Roth IRA goes. And then for regular taxable, I buy just whatever shares throughout the year from week to week. But first time I bought stocks, I felt like I kind of got out of that valley, you know, and I began every week to kind of, it was like I was financially, for my mind, I was financially lifting weights, you know, giving up this money and seeing the money, these little numbers on this little device here every day. And I wasn't out spending it. I wasn't out partying. I wasn't out, you know, whatever. It felt kind of like I say, it was, like I say, I think it was, I mean, it was in a way, it was painful because I wasn't having any fun. But at the same time, it felt good because while it was painful, that was like the pains I used to feel when I lift weights. You know, I know I was making them gains, you know. I was making gains, and so it's like I was feeling that little bit of soreness at the end of the workout, but I knew I'm making gains. I'm giving my time, I'm giving my energy, but I'm making gains. And so that's kind of how, you know, when I give money every week to get my stocks, it kind of feels like that. Now I know there's a downturn can come, and when that happens, my attitude can very much change, but that's why I'm going to probably kind of sock away some money into the war chest for a while, and I'm approaching my milestone, kind of slowly but surely approaching my milestone for my net worth. And then, you know, when I get that, I'll take my business card out of my wallet that I wrote what I wanted on the back. I'll put it in my journal, and then I'll pull another business card out, and I'll write a new net worth, a higher net worth, and I'll just keep going up like that. You know, I'll just keep going after those goals. So I got a watch. I might buy a watch. Nothing fancy, just, you know, when I get to my net worth, because I figured, you know, it'd be a little bit of a time to kind of let off the reins a bit, you know, but then it's right back on it, keep stacking it, keep stacking the assets, keep stacking the money. That's what I'm about. So But anyway, don't want to go off the tangent because this video is kind of about Charlie. So yeah, Charlie Munger. I was working outside of my truck and I came in. There's a picture of Charlie on there, and I just, Charlie's always on CNBC, and I'm thinking, oh, it's just Charlie, something Charlie said, or the next thing you know, my mom says Charlie died. I'm like, what? I'm like, I mean, he's old. Don't be wrong. I mean, it's gonna come someday. Don't be wrong. It comes for us all someday. But I just did not expect to hear it today. I'm like, what? I just didn't expect to hear it today and now. So, but anyway, yeah. So, got people that walk their dogs through here. I didn't want anybody sneaking up on them without their dog on a leash. I just flipped around, so there's nobody behind me. So anyway, don't worry about the haters. Just let the haters worry about you. And I guess I'll see y'all on the next one. Have a good night, and it's been kind of hard to get out and walk these two, so if I don't do any videos between then, Merry Christmas, because December's coming up, but I'll be out here before then. See ya, have a good night.